Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fit to Lead. It's been a while, hey? And to be honest, I didn't plan to be away this long, but life just happened. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes. I'm not going to lie, I've had to go back to the UK for a funeral back in December. I've moved house and I've had an operation. So I've been off work for a little bit, so everything's just caught up with me. And somewhere in all of that, I've just stopped showing up on here. I think the biggest thing for me was I just fell out of my routine. I don't just mean this podcast. I mean with everything, my training, my structure, and just feeling myself. It all kind of went out of the window a bit. And if I'm being really honest, there were days where I just didn't want to do anything. I had no motivation, no energy, and I've just been completely flat. And instead of pushing through like I normally would, I didn't. I actually allowed myself to stop. And you know what? At that time, I probably felt a bit guilty about stopping. But looking back now, I realize I actually needed it, and I needed the space, and I just needed to step back for a little bit, just to have a bit of time for myself. But what I have realized though, all of this is part of a process. And also when everything feels like it's all fallen apart and you've lost sight of what you were doing or where you were going, it feels like your whole life around you has fallen apart. But I think that one thing that I realized is that I don't need to rebuild my whole life overnight. I just needed to start again small. And that's what Fit to Lead is all about. It's not about being perfect. And it's not about having everything all together all the time. It's about learning how to stay consistent, even when life isn't, especially when life isn't, to be honest. I know so many of you are probably in that position too with your lives. You know, busy, you're tired, you're juggling work, you've got family life and so many things happening. And maybe sometimes you feel like you've fallen off the track a little bit. And you also might think, I really need to start again. I need to be perfect. But I'm just here to tell you actually don't need to be perfect at all. So this episode really is just about me saying that I'm back, not perfectly and not with a massive plan at this stage, but I'm just starting again. And if you can take anything from this episode, let it be this. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take one small step back into it. And I'd actually really love to hear from you all. If you're feeling a little bit like this too, a bit of a track, a bit overwhelmed. What do you struggle with the most? And send me a message or comment on my post. I'd really love that for your input because I really want to start creating content that really actually helps you all. I'd like to thank you all for being here. And this is me starting again. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Fit to Lead. I really do appreciate you being here and taking the time to listen. If you have enjoyed it, please share it with your friends, family, or anyone who might find it helpful. And don't forget, you can grab your free guide. The Busy Body Blueprint is packed with food ideas and practical tips to help you stay on top of your health, wellness, and mindset. To stay connected, follow me on Instagram at Fit to Lead Podcast or head over to oscarsnetwork.com for more. Thanks again for listening and remember, stay fit to lead. Awesome.